Good morning from Houston, Texas. It is 11:30 Central Time, and it's good news from last week. Today's Tuesday, right? So yeah, good news from last week that the House of Representatives passed the American Dream and Promise Act, and we knew that politically speaking, that the House for was supposed to get it done quick. That was expected. Uh, I didn't expect it to happen that quick, but that is a American Dream and Promise Act. So that's really to focus on people who are the dreamers and TPS. Unfortunately, it does not include essential workers, by my reading of it. So there definitely needs to be more work. So that's why I think it was a lot easier for the House of Representatives to pass it. You know, but there are other versions of immigration proposals, for example, for the essential workers, and also the version that is similar to the U.S. Citizenship Act proposal in the Senate, which includes the estimated 11 million people undocumented or overstayed their visa here in America. And I also shared a video, I believe, on Sunday about the Republicans' first and only proposal so far, which goes in more detail. So check that out, okay? But I can tell you right now from that, I can give you a quick summary. And basically, a 10-year program to have a visa, and then after that will be a 5-year pathway with residency, okay? And then after the 5 years residency, then you can apply to become a citizen, which doesn't have to be part of this proposal because it already only takes 5 years. That's already part of the law. If you do not obtain resident status through a spouse, then a default is 5 years to get status. I mean, to apply for citizenship. So, anyways, I just wanted to get down to some of the questions that we have here, uh, here in the chat box. Aloysius Bar, hello. Thank you. Hope everything's going well with you. You are Liberian and you are in Liberia now. Okay. Well, I believe. Let's see here. Doesn't look like you have a specific question, but let me check something out for you. Okay, here you do have a second. Okay, you're asking, will you benefit from this new immigration law by Biden? You're going through a lot of hardship now. I'm very sorry for what you have to go through now. I know this past year and even 2021 has been hard on everyone, unfortunately. And but what I do see here is that you're in Liberia right now. So any law that's passed, for the most part, most of the provisions is to benefit people who are currently in the U.S. So if you're in Liberia now, I don't anticipate. I can't recall a provision that can help someone who's abroad, other than the proposal from in the Senate U.S. Citizenship Act by Senator Bob Menendez from New Jersey. That one talks about helping people who are already removed or deported and had some kind of proof that they were living in the U.S. within a certain amount of time. So Aloysius, uh, I don't know if there's something that could help you right now since you are in Liberia, but I do know that the uh, actually here it shows that Liberia has something called DED, Deferred Enforced Departure. But again, that's for someone who is already in the U.S. So maybe I read your comment wrong, but I see you're in Liberia now. But if you're in the U.S., tell me differently, and then I have more information to share. Otherwise, I want to get to the next question. Thank you. Juliet, nice to see you. Hey, friends, let us know where you're watching from. I greatly appreciate it. I think it's always interesting how far my YouTube channel is reaching people. And I think I've gotten people really in the Middle East and the East Asian countries, Southeast Asian countries, New York, Michigan, and California. I think it's pretty cool. Jamaica, I got my Jamaican friends. Hello. Ravi, you asked when when you pass the Dream Act 2021, okay, I see your next comment. You are 13 years old, living in the U.S. Can you apply Dream Act? Well, if anyone has questions about applying for something right now that's really related to the Dream Act or Help for Dreamers, it's only passed in the House of Representatives. It needs to be passed by the Senate and then signed by the president. So it has two major steps. Well, actually, the signing with the president, that's the easy part in this situation. The Senate is the other part of the House, the other body of Congress. And so that is a very important step. We cannot bypass that step. There's no way to do that. What they are talking about is they're considering to do is avoid the filibuster through the reconciliation process, which I think will be difficult. Is possible because if they don't go through that, then they need 60 votes in the Senate, and there's only 50 Democrat senators, plus a tiebreaker with Kamala Harris as a VP. But that's only 51 is only helpful if you go through the reconciliatory process, which let's see here. Anyways, going to Juliet Gibson. Can I say when Barbados consulate will reopen? I can give you an idea. I don't know exactly, but let me get to it here on the screen here. Let me find my websites I like to go to. Okay. Barbados. Okay, so what I do is I go to the, you can just do a Google search or internet Bing search, the visa appointment wait time, and it will take you there. But we do have the links in our website or usually in the description box below to help you out. Okay, but I'll show my screen so you can kind of get an idea. Okay, let me do that. Okay, so now that I finally found. Okay. Okay, so it should be popping up soon. Here we are. Okay, so here it is, the travel.state.gov website. But really, I just type in the search, Google, internet search, visa appointment wait time. Then it takes you here. This section is really only for non-immigrant visas, okay? But it still can give you an idea if your consulate is operating. And right here, I typed in the consulate location in Barbados is Bridgetown. So here it says all emergency appointments, right? That is one way to know. The second way to know is going to the statistics website, okay? Well, there's really three ways that I check. Let me go to the statistics. Let me see if it's down here. Then so statistics. Okay, it should be showing you where I'm going now. Okay, here we go. Visa statistics. We love data. My wife is a data analyst, so I always check data. Here I'm going to, well, Juliet, please tell me in the comments what type of case you have, what type of application. Is it non-immigrant visa, like fiance, or is it a immigrant visa, maybe through a spouse, something like that. Okay, so here I'm showing you. That's weird. That's not scrolling on your screen. Okay, well, let me remove it and then put it back. Okay, here it is. Okay, I need to stop that and I need to share my other one. That's why it popped up a different window. Okay, so this is very important for you to know. Okay, we love to go into the detail of this. Thanks for your patience. So I scroll all the way down. For some reason, they have the most recent at the bottom. Oh, great. And now it popped up a different window. So I wonder how to get to this screen. Okay, let me change my screen here again. Now share my other one. Keeps popping up separate windows. Okay, here we go. This is going to be the January. I think you can see it. Let me pop it up a little larger. Okay, let me control find Bridgetown. Okay, so assuming this is for a CR1 type of case, you can see here Bridgetown CR1, 16 issued out, visas issued. Okay, IR1, that's IR1 is for people who married for at least 2 years already, and then you file for immigration benefit. It shows 26. Okay, so hopefully that gives you an idea. So what it says is the consulate is open. These are numbers from January. Okay, on the first website I showed you where it shows a point wait time. Again, that was for non-immigrant visa, and so that would, even though non-immigrant visa is for fiance as well, and fiance is included into non-immigrant visa category, it doesn't. We have to go to another page to check that statistic. So if you're interested in that, let me know. Let's see here. But I want to show you the other way. Okay. Let me share my other browser tab. So thanks for your patience. We're just going one by one here. All right. So this is the U.S. Embassy in Barbados. Usually has a comment in the visa section on their process when they're opening. Okay, so it doesn't really show on the first page. Oh, this is interesting. This is new for Barbados, by the way. So you always want to check the consulate or embassy page because there could be just new information. See, this one's very specific to Barbados. Interview waiver. You don't have to go have another interview if you already had one before, if you're renewing your non-immigrant visa. So this is likely not in many of your situation because this is for people who are already approved for a non-immigrant visa. Okay, and so that anyway, this extended for 48 months. It used to be only for 24 months. So that kind of give you an idea. But let me go to the visa section here. Okay, it's processing, and here it goes. So let me increase that size for you so you can see it. The U.S. Embassy in Barbados is offering limited emergency in-person services for immigrant and non-immigrant applicants. Embassy continues to process interview waiver and renewal interview waiver cases. The MRV fee remains valid until September 30th, 2022. A lot of y'all have been asking about this MRV fee because this is for fiance. I mean, a lot of non-immigrant visas, but fiance visa cases, you have to pay that, which you would not be able to pay if you don't have the case number from National Visa Center. So I know a lot of y'all, if you haven't received the National Visa Center case number, you need to inquire through NVC. They're very slow. They give a generic answer, but for us as attorneys, we have a separate email inquiry pathway to get the information for you, and they're a lot faster. For us, fortunately, it's been usually 1 or 2 days to get a response, which I'm actually pretty impressed with. So hopefully that gives you an idea on that. Let's see here. But yeah, September 30th, 2022, which is great because I believe they expire within 1 year. So many of you waiting abroad, it's probably already been 1 year because, the whole pandemic really started around March 2020, 1 year ago. And that's when the consulates and embassies shut down. But it says here, so if you have an emergency situation, at this time in bold, it says, let me show you the screen again. At this time, the Post is offering services to visa applicants who are residents in our consular district, which includes Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean. And so they're saying this because some people, let's say from China or other countries, want to transfer their case to a different consulate because, like consulates in China, Guangzhou consulate, for example, it's not shut down, but the numbers for visa issuances are very low, especially for fiance visa cases. They do have a higher number for the CR1 or IR1. So this whole like COVID ban is ridiculous because if there is a concern about safety, why does it matter what type of family relationship is required to go bypass that COVID ban? So it's very frustrating. We actually file lawsuits on behalf of some clients who want to get their case pushed because or to go through this COVID exception, go around this COVID travel ban. Okay, so anyways, I highly suggest, in the end of the day, I'd suggest you going to the website of your consulate or embassy. That can give you some critical information that the government is sharing with you directly. I mean, not directly, not through email possibly, but it's on their website because they will have a lot of emails to answer. This is one way to at least give you some kind of idea if they're open or not. So they're definitely open. But the real main question is how soon can you get your interview? And so that's something that they likely will not tell you, right? They're just doing it week by week. So hopefully that gives you some information. Hope you find that helpful, Juliet. Monhal, what is body TBS? I think you mean what is TPS? That is temporary protected status. Um, that's really for designations by the White House, by the president's administration. Doesn't matter what president, they can designate certain countries if that country has gone through a natural disaster or through some kind of military warfare situation. So they just designated Guatemala. I'm sorry, not. Let me check. They just designated for Venezuela and also Liberia is one of them. El Salvador and Honduras. So there's many, and also Syria. So there's many countries designated for TPS. I can definitely create a video for that. I've been saying that for a while about what TPS is because I know TPS holders is included in the American Dream and Promise Act, and so people wonder if they can apply. If you don't already have TPS, then you most likely do not qualify for it unless you're from some certain those countries. So stay tuned for the next video about what is TPS, and we'll provide you the full list of all the current countries that are designated for TPS. Because yeah, who knows, you might actually qualify for it in general. Okay, let's see. Love Preet Singh, your question is: you came here when you were 17 through the border in 2011. You have a asylum 589 pending in court. If the Dream Act passes in 2021 this year, as a Senate, are you eligible for that? But you never went to school. Well, there's a couple different ways I saw the American Dream and Promise Act. I believe if you were enter the United States before 18, you can either go to school, right, get a diploma or degree for that, and also go through the military. And there's also one other way. I can't recall right now, but I wouldn't put your hopes on this, okay? In terms of if you think you're eligible or not, I'm happy to answer your question, but there's full disclaimer. Even if I say yes or no, it doesn't matter right now because you have to wait until the Senate approves and signs it off. So, sorry, I'm hesitating because my dog is barking or whining and wants to get out. Okay, so. But yeah, you have to go to the military. That's one thing. So I just wouldn't do anything drastic right now, like join the military. If you don't actually want to join the U.S. military, because we have to wait until the Senate passes it, right? Or you at least can try to get a GED. There's a lot of online classes right now that are available. Love Preet, you're watching from, okay, you're watching from Miami. Nice. I hope the weather's good. Okay, okay, Mahala, this is your follow-up to your question. What is TPS status? Okay, hopefully I answer that. Fotini, I didn't see your question. Let's see, let me scroll up. Sorry about that. You applied VAWA last year, but didn't receive prima facie basis. Can you get some benefit from government without prima facie paper? As far as I know, you cannot. Well, it depends what benefit you're talking about. I'm assuming you're talking about the like for immigration purposes. So, but if you're talking about government benefits, I don't know what the eligibility for certain government benefits. You have to speak directly, look online for that. Okay, if you're talking, I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe food stamps, something like that, or Medicaid, or Medicaid. Then you have to go to that particular agency website if that's what you mean by government benefit. Okay, raw. Okay, now going back down. Friends, by the way, I want to make this announcement. I try to make this every time, and that is, if you are, you just have one or two questions, I completely get it. We're happy to. We're offering this free 15 minutes just for you, YouTube fans and viewers from YouTube, and also, of course, Facebook. If you're watching via the Facebook fan page or the group, we're happy to offer free 15 minutes, but you have to call in, okay? Here's our number that you can call or text. Okay, there you go. It's scrolling right there on the bottom. 346-330-5888. You just give them the code word, green car guys. Okay, that's our code word. Okay, our secret code that you have to give in. Or okay, so you give that code and then you can get that free 15 minutes. So it just depends on availability. I can't guarantee that it'll be available the same day, probably the next day or two. Okay, so I just have a couple more minutes. Let me see what else I can answer. Jawad, your kid has a green card. He can apply for you after paying taxes. Well, he has to become a citizen first. Okay, he has to be a U.S. citizen over 21, and you've been paying your taxes since last year. That's great. Glad to know. Keep doing that. Okay, you have to file your taxes because at some point the government could ask you to show proof of good moral character. Currently, that's not a requirement if your son files for you. Okay, but we're happy to help, Jawad. If you can fill out the intake form down below, it starts with Ting Law. You'll see that link. Okay, Facebook user, do I know if tourist visa is okay to travel in the States from the Philippines? Well, in general, airlines, it's not really a U.S. Restriction, but their airline companies do have some kind of restriction in terms of requiring, a negative COVID test. So that's something to consider. But in general, you can apply for a tourist visa, and the best way to do that is online. Some people ask us to help with that, but you can do that online at the travel-state.gov website. I believe it's $160, and the form is DS-160. So hopefully that gives you an idea. Okay, I know some people are concerned about COVID in America. It seems like we have more people that died from it in America than anywhere else. So that's another thing you should be careful of. But in general, yes, you can apply for it. I know in Manila, it's difficult to get employment, even more so. Recently, apparently, there's more concern about COVID there. But you can apply online first. Kareem, nice to see you again. Any chance to get green card through the consulate interview after your 601A was approved? You have a clean record except the 10-year ban. Okay, yeah. So hopefully you don't have the ban already, but you got the 601A because you have to leave the United States to have your interview. So that waiver is to prevent the 10-year restriction. So hopefully you don't already trigger the 10-year ban by what you're saying. But in your situation, your kind of case, you have to wait for the NBC to give you an interview anyway. So hopefully that helps. You've been married 4 years. Congratulations. That's great. Let's see here. Chen Okafor, do I believe Dick Durbin is basically lying or not? I'm not gonna guess on that, but I do know Congress loves to take a long time on immigration. But if he says so this week, if he said that, then that's great, you know. But I'm not going to rely on his statement. Okay, so hopefully that gives you an idea. Okay, so I got to end this very soon. Let me see if I can get another question in. Kareem, if approved, for how long will green card? 10 years? You're supposed to be 10 years if you're married for more than 2 years. Juliet, you're welcome. Usman, I skipped your question. I'm sorry, I don't see your question. So let me scroll up. I still don't see it. You're gonna just have to post it again. Some reason it didn't come through, but I saw your. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, Usman. I don't see your question. You're gonna have to. Okay, here it is. Well, here's your second comment. Was after that one. What about Islamabad F2A cases interviews? Well, that's something you're gonna have to wait to the International Visa Center to schedule an appointment. Okay, so, but I can check quickly if if in general. Let's see here, Islamabad. Islamabad for CR1 has 51 visas issued for CR1. Okay, just to give you an idea. For F1, 2, 3, there's only one each. Okay, in January 2021. So hopefully that gives you an idea. The consulate in Islamabad is open. It's probably a limited basis by the numbers I'm looking at, but it doesn't sound like there's too much progress on the F preference category cases. The priority is going to the U.S. citizen spouses who filed for them. Okay. Hi, Marlene. Nice to see you. Love Preet. Okay, sir. Glad you're going to get the GED just in case. Right, exactly. You have to work in the military for 3 years. You've had ED since 2013. Oh, I think because you said you filed asylum. Okay, that's good. Will that work also? It's possible, but again, I can't give you any kind of guarantee. So I really don't like to answer those type of answers, like if you're eligible or not. We have to wait for the Senate, get them to pass it. So if Chen Okafor is right on the statement, or if a Dick Durbin senator from Illinois is correct, then about getting enough votes, 60 votes, then we're getting somewhere. But personally, I really hope that we can get essential workers included. Okay, love. Let's see if I can get to your question. You're welcome, Usman. Glad I found your question. Mary, you married for under 3 years, CR1. How long does a green card last? If it's 2 years, less than 2 years, then it's 2 years. But if it's more than 2 years, it's supposed to be for 10 years. But the timing, it has to be, you file for the petition after the 2 years of marriage. So people get the timing off, right? Most of the time, majority of our cases, the clients want to file as soon as possible. So then it'd be for only 2 years. Okay. You're welcome, Love Pre. Okay, friends. This is a live show. We're happy to answer your questions. We'll be back live with you on Friday. Okay. But in the meantime, if you have more questions, or if you're watching this later on, fill out the intake form down below, because we're offering a free 15 minutes for our YouTube fans, our subscribers. So please go ahead and subscribe and share our video. Until next time, friends, please continue wearing a mask. Bye.